What's going on, everybody? It is Arlie, aka Young Garlic here, coming to you with day 5 of our trading journey that we have started here at Arcane Society, where I, as a new trader, am going to be implementing the system we teach traders here and seeing how it works for me. Again, I'm a new trader, been trading under a year, super small portfolio, a lot of transparency with this challenge, and along with transparency, we had another drawdown today, 15%, $40. It was one trade that really killed us today. I went against my risk management on the trade because I was looking at other things happening in the market, and I kind of thought that we were going to bounce off of a call. But anyways, we'll get into that before we begin. Our socials are going to be linked below. If you are not following, please follow. Our Discord will be linked below as well. If you want to get this analysis live, also analysis on a bunch of other tickers, please join us. We live trade daily in our server. We offer a paid side and a free side. The free side has tons of information in it still, so if you're not comfortable with paying for a subscription, we still have a lot of resources for people, but our paid service is we are hitting some bangers on the paid side. Riley runs that, and we are seeing a lot of good stuff come out of there. But anyways, talking about the day today, we had a drawdown today. It was really just one trade that killed me in the beginning. I had a $25 loss. I went against some risk management and held a position longer than I usually would just because I liked the market and what the market was doing. But if we go back and look, we see that if we would have just obeyed our system, we probably would have been okay. But for example, Twitter gapped up this morning. It kind of dragged social media with it. Snapchat gapped up as well, and I entered a long position instead of seeing the gap fill. I didn't see the gap fill until after I was already in the position. And that's going to be something we add to our rulebook. If we gap up, we're not going to enter calls or until we fill the gap, and if we gap down, we're not going to enter shorts until we fill the gap. Anyways, so yeah, 40% drawdown. Let's get started with our first trade. Again, going with the wait 10 to 15 minutes before we take a position theory. 940, we took our first position. It was a long, and I entered on this candle right here. And looking back at it, we kind of had an anomaly here, right? Our bear volume is huge, but our candle is super small. I was thinking that we were going to see some upticks, and I wanted to hold this because we were holding this trend line, and I wanted to see what happened. Again, kind of held this longer than I should have, but it's a Friday expiry. We weren't seeing a whole lot of bleed off of the contract. I mean, we were down again, over our risk management levels, which we were down like 25%, I think, when I closed it. But it's okay. I'm not too mad about it because I held it. I had a thesis, and the thesis didn't work out. Just kind of went against the risk management on that one, but that's just something we'll tackle in the future. Kind of learning if it's Monday and we're buying Friday contracts that we still don't want to go against our risk management regardless. But it's okay. So I entered here. Could have been a better entry, because we rode this trend line. If I went long, I could have entered here. I entered. We come down. Bear volume's decreased on this downtrend. We see bull volume come in. Looking back, I should have seen this. I should have seen that our bull volume is smaller here, and we end up coming up. We can't get back over this level, lower high. If I'm not mistaken, I saw this happen, and I wanted to get out. But again, I didn't. I was just trying to be a little bit more aggressive with holding the position. Ooh, excuse me. That's okay. Just experimenting a little bit, but it's a lesson learned to pretty much always follow risk management. But we still ended up cutting it. I still didn't end up holding it longer than I should have. Even though if I would have held it, I think we would have been close to the money, $42. And we topped out at 39 here. We would have been green on the trade if we held it all day, but not there yet. We'll get there where we can hold contracts all day. Even here though, we missed this move, and then I closed here, right? Because I wanted to see if we could get a bounce off the short signal. But it's funny because if we look at our 30-minute, we can see that we gapped down, or we gapped up this today, and then we filled the gap to the cent, and then we came back up. So I guess these gap fills are going to act like magnets for us. So I think that's what happened, because you can see we have a lot of buy pressure come in. Like after we filled the gap, we are pretty much bleeding up all day long. Twitter's carrying the social media sector, social media tickers, with Elon buying it. But I don't know. See, now that I've played a long position after a gap up. I don't know that I will do that again. I think it's something I can add to the rule book. Not playing the gap fills. Like if we gap up that morning, we want to wait to see if we can fill the gap. And sure enough, shores we did. We started, riding this trend line all the way up. Beautiful day on that. Anyways, I ended up exiting here at 9:55. We broke our short signal. This was kind of like my last do or die level here. I gave this as my mental stop loss. Usually it would be 15%, but I just wanted to see, because we have more time on the contract, I want to see if we could get any kind of bounce. And we didn't, so we exited. So execution-wise, could have waited longer for an entry. Could have been more patient here. As always, we always talk about patience, and that's one thing that I struggle with. We did have a 3-minute candle close over this short signal, or over this long signal right here, rather. Excuse me. But even then, this would have been a really good short entry, right? Because we didn't really do anything else. Like you see, we come down and we consolidate. This is kind of almost like a bear flag. Like we come down hard, we consolidate, lower high here. Bull volume. This is an anomaly to the bull side. And then the bears drag it down. That wasn't an anomaly. Is this today? Excuse me. Okay, yeah. So bull volume here, an anomaly. Bears drag it down. Bulls try to enter again. Bears are still here. Bear volume is still over our bull volume, and we keep coming down. And then we can see where things start to turn when our bull volume finally starts ticking above our bear volume, and then we just kind of start riding up. But anyways, this was the big loser today, $25 loss. I'm not mad about it because I had a thesis. I just went against the risk management rules, and I wanted to see the thesis play out. A little bit riskier to do that, and I think maybe in the future we'll just kind of stick to our risk management rules no matter what. Because we could have entered here again. I think I have to try to remember that. But it's okay. Lesson learned. We're doing this for a reason. So, and then I shorted again at 9:57. Yeah, so we shorted here, and we closed here at 10:07. I think I was up a little bit on this play. Probably could have taken the gain, because if I took this entry here, right, we broke below this short signal, 3-minute candle close confirmation. This was a good entry, and then again, a gap fill. I think gap fill is a good subject to have for the video today. Once we gap filled, we could not go down anymore. So looking back on it at 9:57, we could have taken this entry. And then I wanted to see if like the bull volume came in here, right? But it's still not that. It's stronger than the bear volume, sure. And this is a bear side anomaly. But then our bear volume comes in, and it's more. But this is also kind of an anomaly. So, still got the exit. Still break even on this. Could have probably got like 5 or 10%, but wanted to see this kind of break down. But just something for the future. If we gap up and we fill the gap, and we fill the gap right here, as you can see, get out of your shorts and try to go long. And then, so yeah, we ended up closing at 10:07 for break even, and then we took another trade at 10:12. This was also a call. 10:12. Right, so saw this. I saw this form. Right, I see our buy volume come in. I got in on this candle, 10:12. Looking back, I should have entered here, this lower low, or this higher low rather. But we get in at 10:12. We ended up closing this at 10:30. So I was playing this break back above our short signal, and we break above it, and we just kind of, just go back and forth over it, and then we break down. I didn't want to see this lower low here, and this is what made me exit. But we also bounced right off this trend line, but I didn't have this trend line drawn until after I exited this trade. But I exited here at 10:30, right at the break at this lower low. Like I saw us coming down. This is also kind of a bear anomaly, but then the bears show up. So this was just me respecting rules I had. This is only a $3 loss, so we respected risk management and got out. And then this was a $10 loss here. This one was a little bit more of an adverse loss. Took a short at 10:35. right? We have a volume anomaly here, and then like this, like we're consolidating over this sell signal, right? And then I held this, right? I held this move because we started doing this right here off of the long signal. We break above it. I wanted to see us break down. We didn't, and I didn't close this like 11:02. I still held this one longer than I should have. But again, this is why we put like this is where it comes into play. Not playing the 0 DTEs, buying a little bit of time. It's one thing we talk about because you can kind of hold things longer and still respect your risk management. This went against the risk management. You know, that's a like a 20% loss. Not bad. Wanted to let it breathe because I just it's just to be honest, I went against rules here. You know, we get up here if we look on the 3 minute, um, we actually get this close above the 3 minute, right? So where did it? Right here. I bought this at 10:35. All right, so I kind of bought this in this area, waiting to see if we would reject. Considering I just closed along, we end up going up. Boom, boom, boom. We get the candle close over our buy signal, and then we just are off to the races from there. And I ended up closing here. So this is me going against the rules here, going against the system. Kind of had a bias I shouldn't have had. And I think, yeah, I could have been more patient. I think um, I was just kind of playing this little consolidation here, right? Like we're chopping. We reject super hard off our long signal. We are consolidating right here. We push above it, but the volume is low. This is kind of a this is a buy side anomaly, so I'm thinking we come down, then we bounce. If I was really playing this thesis, I should have closed here right off this bounce. Even here, this is a buy side anomaly, right? So it's just kind of weird day. We've been talking about it all morning in Discord. Super weird day today. But still, if you played the system and you just stuck to the basic rules, you would have been green here, and I think that's what I need to do. Stop overcomplicating it, but I'm just looking at volume. You know, I'm looking at these anomalies occur. Still use a 3 minute today. If I was like super strict on it, I wouldn't have bought here. I would have waited for this candle and then bought a short, or I would have went long here. But you know, regardless, this is why we do this journal. So as you can see, what did we do wrong today? Went against risk management. Wanted plays to kind of play out. Wanted to hold a little bit longer just because we have time. Again, we don't really want to go against risk. We'll buy back into plays if we have to. I think that kind of comes to, I talk about small account psychology. You know, we have a limited amount of trades a day if we're cash accounts. So we got to kind of, if it's like I take a bad entry, I want it to work out because I bought one of my few trades I get all day. But really I should have just been like, we got to start to keep thinking long term. Could have been more patient. Always can be more patient. Again, the thing I'm working on. I'm still getting better at cutting. You know, I was letting these things breathe, so I had a different mindset in terms of my risk management today, but I still cut them when I knew they weren't coming back. I just got to, I guess, learn when they're not coming back faster. Like here, I should have cut here. If I was short and I wanted to play this long signal, we should have broke through here and we would have came back down, but we didn't. All right, we held this level. You see, we wick off this level, and once we claim it, we're off to the races. And a long entry here would have been nice because that's a $1.50 move. That's a really good move on premiums. But you know, that's why we do this. Account is okay. We're still hovering around 140 just because I have money. I put money in it. So we're break even from the day before I put money in it. Just 2 bad days of trading. Just not really following our plan. You know, we just, I guess in the mornings I need to pay attention more to what we did. Did we gap fill? Did we gap up? Did we gap down? What did we do? And that way I can kind of have a better idea of what we're doing. Also, if I'm not mistaken, let me show y'all this because I was watching Spy a lot today too because I'm at my computer, so I like to have Spy and VXX up. I was watching Spy through all of this, and I was also holding a lot of stuff because Spy was failing to make lower high or higher highs here. And I'm thinking we're coming down. We're starting to break below this trend line here. We end up recovering. And 11:02. So I actually closed, I think, according to this SPY candle, because I bought 1035. All right, so you see on SPY, we failed to make this higher high. We come down kind of low here, but sometimes it doesn't work like that. Social media has a lot of
battery
strength
low
today, just because of Musk buying up a lot of Twitter. But regardless, we take away that one bad trade this morning, that $25 trade, and we're actually not bad on our drawdown. And if we just, so our risk management, keep being patient, and we'll, I don't know, we're just gonna keep improving. I told you guys if we end up blowing this account up, it doesn't matter. I will paper trade through all this stuff and learn all this stuff and still do daily videos because I want to get better at the system, because the system puts out bangers. If you guys follow Riley, he puts out bangers all the time, and he uses this system. So yeah, that's all I got for you guys today. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them below or reach out to me in my DMs on Discord. Probably gonna be putting some more capital into this account in the next couple days. I'm willing to invest a little bit more here and here just to our growth, my growth, and our growth as a team as we're going through this series together. So that's okay. I'm not worried about it. We're trading. We're learning. Tomorrow, gonna work on risk management. Go back to just risk management. Let's not worry about letting things breathe. Let's just try to put our mindset to where we're protecting the capital of this, not trying to gain capital. If we're protecting capital, we're gonna gain capital. Just because, we know the system works, so we got to be a little bit better with our RR and our entries. Gonna start looking more in the mornings for if we gapped up, gapped down. Trying to be more patient. Like this right here, I could have just held through all of this, and I still would have caught this good move. Or I could have just been cash all this, wait for us to figure out where we're going. Because even here, we don't really know. This is our low, our orb low, or orb high. We still don't really know what's going on. So we could have just been patient and just gotta kind of remember that we won't miss the moves if we use this system. We will catch the moves right when they happen, like here. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, let me know. Until then, I will see you all tomorrow.